Okay, did not realize that that video had been at 20 minutes. I thought it was on 10 minutes, but time goes by as it does. Um, and this video is the advice. This is part two, and so you can check for part one. Do care to share with like-minded. It's too much, together, too much that got to go on to be dealing with delays and derails and stuff like that, you know. And then I may be talking about actual social, psychosocial anyway, so, okay, they can say what they gotta say. Say what you gotta say in two statements and get the hell off kind of thing. That's how I am. I haven't had it too bad. I believe the video that had, really the craziest was about the girl in with the McDonald's incident with Catherine. But Catherine ain't talk that noise to get there and stop herself from getting them. She came on the page, but she couldn't stop herself from getting her ass whooped when all she do really was mind her business. Boo, you working at McDonald's. Don't be trying to treat that like you working at Media Takeout, okay? Uh, so speaking on advice, like I told y'all, you listen to the message, don't all the image. I mean, there's plenty of people that look good and give good messages, and how far does that get to people? So, like I say, I look bad, but you know what I'm saying, you're going to see my child clean, you know what I'm saying, my arena, it's, you know what I'm saying, ain't nobody outgoing, you know. So as I get on this topic about advice, there are people that would advise you on stuff, and they come advise you, and it's like, okay, I'm kind of like, I'm not going to run on what you say because I really know more than you, and the reason why I know more than you is because I know where this is going. I know people that, what I'm saying, yeah, your advice is something that could be recommended, or people that follow up on it, and I know where it landed them, or I know it's just not for me. It could be real good advice, but you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying, you could be telling me to go be a doctor. I know good and well, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna start you out in the ER, because before you get a clinic, you need to have some pace with you even in the clinic now. So I know I'm not gonna be quick enough for the ER now. When I do go to the ER, I do expect fast service. So I'm not gonna be no ER. I'm not gonna be no RN. And I don't know. Some people, they need to stop trying to go after careers just for money. Their heart is not genuine. They can't be trusted with a cup of water. You know what I'm saying? You cannot be a doctor or a nurse and you're not consistently learning to, you know what I'm saying? You just know common stuff. All thing you know is a cold, a broken leg. Like you don't know, you don't go to know detailed stuff. I like detailed. Or you know what I'm saying? When I was in the hospital, when I had to go back after my child, um, after a child was murdered and stuff, and what happened with that incident, I went to another hospital. I did not like the RN there. She was so. I had never been on no damn IV. I don't know nothing about this here. For real, never. So you trying to talk to me like, okay, like I'm supposed to be well adjusted, like, okay, you come here all the time, why you, no. This is my first time going through this stuff here. I never was on IV. I don't know nothing. If I was on it as a newborn, I'm telling the truth, I've never been on it, okay? Even if I was on it as a newborn, I wish I don't know nothing about it. I don't have no sense or no instinct to it. The LPN straight up came in. She made me feel comfortable. She was uh, she was a nice dark skinned lady. She was like very smart. She knew everything to do. I mean, she was real good at everything. The RN was like she a RN. She finished school. And I believe the community needs to be more involved with who actually are hired in these hospitals instead of letting HR that, you know what I'm saying, those people just going to be good enough for you, and if they know that that person know you kind of stuff. But you ain't going to get the real deal of the quality and production that's going on in your hospital. So my advice, as I'm speaking on this topic, advice part 2 is, stop going to stuff that your heart is not genuine for. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people like, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't got it, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes with, off to the side with, And they'll come like, you, oh, well, I got more money than you. You got more money than me, but you're not more genuine than me. One thing about me is, up front, I can tell you, okay, I'm not qualified for this. I don't do this here. I don't do that. And a lot of things, I know the process and procedure, and I have attempted at it, or whatever happened with that. There are times, what I'm saying, you just ain't know what I was doing. So that have you think whatever. Oh, okay, well, you must don't, uh, you ain't never did nothing, boo. That's why, boo, if the government watching it and the info and profile they got on me, good. I love the, you know what I'm saying. I love the rumors you put on me. Oh, she ain't never worked before. She ain't never do. I don't keep you in my business. You don't need to be in my business. So guess what? If they ever try to go interview you for shit, you just would be straight up non-factor, and straight up no solution. So good, do what you do. Um, People love to say stuff because, what I'm saying, it makes no, what I'm saying, you don't keep yourself just because, I talk consistently with people all the time on the phone, and why keep people in your life that aren't genuine to you? And one time, what I'm saying, I kept going into one person to the next. They get, what I'm saying, like, why are you talking to me like that? And it's how you go from one person to almost the next person to almost the next. You may have one real positive person, but the negative people totally cancel out. And you start carrying that energy that you're dealing with the negative people onto the positive, and you could really, or you may just have to totally like, oh, wait, hold up. Let me stop calling you. I got to get my life straight. These negative people, until I totally get them out and I'm at a position where I can communicate with you even, and I can show you the genuine way, man, I got to put you off to the side. I didn't forget about you. But this is some things I have to have in order. Because, what I'm saying, I have a conscience to where I want to keep things smooth. And then sometimes the light got to be shown of exactly how life is about money, which I definitely had to, what I'm saying, it is what it is. People get there and they act like they so much want to be bothered with you and so much concern and all that kind of stuff like that. But in all reality, they trying to milk something out you that mathematically you don't have. Mathematically, that is not there. Mathematically, which is going to keep you held back. And they can't advise you to go anywhere because they're not even advising themselves to go anywhere or have any drive to go anywhere. And they want you to go exactly how and where they want you to go. They may say, oh, I'm for you getting this here and getting that. But at the same time, preparation meets opportunity. If you know somebody trying to go somewhere and they helping you out with stuff and you just not satisfied with it, it's like, god dang. I'm really trying hard, and because you're not getting it, they're gonna make it look, what I'm saying? It's just gonna like, okay, I gotta stand up for myself. Like this, you're gonna have to get told no, even though you don't want to get told no. I did this, I did that, and then you get into these inventory audit debates with people. So let me go back about people going into stuff about that's going into to stuff. I need to genuinely speak about it. I don't know. This may come back up. Someone that knows me. If you're a stranger, you're gonna be kind of like whatever. But people that know me like way back, or they may know me, whatever. They know me, or whatever like that. They may be put figure something. This may come into play. Whether it's tomorrow, next week, upcoming seasons, not a telling. But people are going into stuff, before I even had my own incident that what I'm saying, you could be a psychic and stuff, but you can't, what I'm saying, it's gossiping to get there and say, well, look, hey, I wouldn't trust that person for such and such when they do it, so for me to get, what I'm saying, and it's like, okay, well, why you didn't say nothing about it in there? Well, if I don't know exact details to an exact event, you can't say nothing to it, what I'm saying, you just know, intuition just tell you, hey, don't trust that motherfucker. Don't trust, what I'm saying, that wench ain't to be trusted. That wench ain't genuine. Like wrong is when wrong happened to them and who they bless and highly favor. That's what wrong is. And I see who gosh, and a lot of these manipulative people, they got they be having this stuff here on their pages, talking about when God ruled for their favor and stuff like that. Some people just stuck up in their culture. Some people just what I'm saying, when they get to asking about. They can ask you, what I'm saying, the people that get to ask all into your business, but then they get mad when you ask harder. Cause I mean, when you ask me about something that just really is lollipag, like okay, oh, it really don't make no sense. And I don't like when people ask into stuff as though they got a point to make you do what they asking for. Like, let me give you an example. People that see you and they try to know, oh well, you okay, but nobody can ask. You don't want nobody to ask you no question. They want to know where you work at. Okay, well if I don't have a job, you gonna help find me a fucking job. Like I don't like those kind of people. You know, and it's a little clique. You have two of them that just act stupid, just stupid crap, you know, from where I'm from. And then you have another one just makes just stupid statements. It's just stupid, just nonsense. Like, oh, when you get your life perfect, then you get there, and what you saying to make sense. And like they come on like, you know what I'm saying, like to make a scene, cause they very country ghetto. I just have to say it. That's what they are. They country ghetto, no opinion, just embarrassing, and they be all loud in front of people so they can get there and cause a scene, to draw a fight with, you know, try to like they drawing a fight with somebody. And if you are any, you know what I'm saying, people like that, if you any, you know, I tolerated that stuff junior high, some of my adult life, and like I said, you know, when it comes to my, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to it comes a point you can't get comfortable with that, and it ain't your job to get there and be their mathematician, okay? Because they ain't pay you no retainer, no consultation fee. And like I said, I ain't qualified for that, and you ain't about to make me qualify for that, okay? Will you make everybody qualify in the community for it? Then that means don't point me, you know what I'm saying? Until then, don't point me out to do it, okay? Um, So people that it's like go read a book. Why don't you go loud cap a book? If you can't, you know, it's like don't come asking anything about me. Don't come to me about it because see me, you ain't gonna like the way I gossip back at you. Oh well, how's such and such doing? I'm gonna come back 100 times. Like ooh, and then be all loud in front of people. Ooh gosh, Then some people be, you know what I'm saying, you just met me, you trying to come out, I'm not your competition. Then some people be trying to show off or like trying to, you know, between somebody else that's kin to you and like, oh, they better than you kind of thing. And you need to get on their level kind of thing. Those little country games that people be playing, country plantation games people be playing. So the you know what I'm saying? Advice to that is detour that. And if you're a child, do what you gotta do, except you know murder. But if you gotta defend yourself, you know what I'm saying. God knows. Um, God knows. But you know what I'm saying, the best thing is detour. Don't get comfortable to where you know what I'm saying, a lot of people I talk on the phone with, they almost 40, 50 years old and they having the same conversations. They 40, they 50, they 60, 70, 60 years old and they having the same conversations that I'm sure they probably had 10, 20 years ago. That's not that's and it was me, yeah. 10 years I did have the conversation, and I wish, like, especially with the information that I so much know now, I am so much wiser to apply so much resource, especially when I did not have a child, when I was, you know, extremely healthy, and so forth. It's like, gosh, I should have just got up when I had such and such. I could have did without, you know what I'm saying? I could have, you know what I'm saying? If I could have just had this information, and when they say information is valuable, it is valuable. I had a lot of information, but it was scrambled. I didn't have the right support to connect and communicate the dots with it and for each other. So I basically had it for myself or with people that was far away, but I still had to have so much of my own to come to the table. Because I like to come to the table with a lot of my own stuff, because I do not like them. I know how that feels. Somebody talking about they bought you a Happy Meal, and you made the honor roll, and they get there and hold against you, making getting you a Happy Meal for making the honor roll. Everybody else getting Jordans, and it was okay if I didn't have Jordans. I would have been okay. I just really just wish I would roll simple plaid and denim, like plain denim. Like that's all, because I did not no, that just was not what I wanted. I wanted to be less known and just basic. Like no attraction, anything like that. It had the same hair, everything, to where I could just camouflage on in. Ooh, no indeed. And so, I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but I'm just talking about advice. Going through experiences and what people tell you and what people really don't mean sincere of what they say. And I just really want to advise you to, when you have your children, be into their education. Don't let your children get a generic education. If there are skills that you see in your child, you make sure you take them to whatever activities it is. Don't become so obsessed with church that you got the church masquerading and distracting their skills. Don't have them in environments with people that they be friends to your face, but they generic to your children's face. Don't do that. And don't be going to church talking about you trying to get your spirit right, but you ain't got no networking going on. You can't be all that independent woman, and somebody got to keep your child. Somebody gotta do something or everything. When you short on some money, you need somebody that you can borrow from and be responsible to pay it back or pay something back. Well, hey, I'm short. You know what I'm saying? You have to get there and break even. And some people, they look for people that they can get stuff out of, and then they like to make fun like you supposed to do that, or you ain't worth asking for. Oh, it ain't nothing you can do about it, 'cause I ain't signed no paper about it or anything like that. Oh, babe, see, and that's why. People like, oh, okay, well, you don't trust people. I shouldn't know, because trust me, it's unforgivable. You intentionally get there and plot to get over on me. I forgive about 4 quarters, but I'm not forgiving about $25, 20, 10. I know, especially when you intentionally plan to do it. It's one thing if you need some medicine and it just happened and you budget your stuff, and then some people get mad when you get to, advise them, well, hey, you could go to such and such, okay, where I can, give it to you this time, but they intentionally start doing stuff so they can intentionally ask you for stuff, intentionally. Like, they'll get there and they get mad when you tell them about, look, well, why don't you budget? Well, hey, you go to such and such place for your medicine. I love for you to tell me, it's a certain, now you tell me, well, hey, you could buy some generic bread. Don't come advising me on something like that, okay? Because that is not going to make the difference of me being able to have transportation and things like that. Like, I mean, some serious stuff. You could be like, well, look, you need your medicine. You can go to such and such program to sign up for it. Like, I don't want nobody getting there trying to give me extreme poverty stuff like, oh, well, washing clothes on hand and stuff like that. Come on, it ain't got to be that. Don't come extremely compromise me to do that, especially when you don't get there and tell the person that's doing dope something like that and then be quick to give them money. So let me move on to that topic there. So people get there and they'll, say you just rarely. Don't ever ask them for nothing, because you're already scared to ask them, but when you really need some help or something, like say you need some gas money or whatever like that, or say, really something that's owed to you from your estate, but you just can't prove how to get it out of your estate kind of thing. But when they living off of the royalties and everything like that, but you ain't getting your share that you supposed to be, and then you up in the name and stuff like that. And it's direct bloodline, but see, you can't get it because see, you can't get to the information, and there's no way to get to it. And the people that can give it to you won't never give it to you. So you ain't got no. And everybody always tell like, go get a lawyer. You got, and then you got to figure out what lawyer you want to deal with the case. And by the time you tell your business to 20, 30 lawyers and shit like that, you got all your information known and how to plan and get up over on you and stuff like that. No, you need someone you can tell to the one perfect lawyer that's gonna perfectly take the case, or refer to the right person, perfect person. So, you get there, and people get there, and you ask for $5, they gonna insult you. I haven't asked you for nothing in 2, 5, 10, 15 years, or if ever. Whatever, very rare. If ever, my first time and I asked you for something, and it's a big essay back and forth. It's like, okay, but they get there with the person. They did what they want. They didn't never accept no uncomforts. If they wasn't comfortable, they quit automatically with everything. Every and anything, they quit with it. They always was rescued out of everything. They use narcotics. They let other people use them, such as the females that are related within this matter. Their own, whether it be their own children or nieces that they bless and highly favored. They get there and they could be taking care of a man. You know what I'm saying? It's no questions. They don't get into it. They don't do them nothing but, you know what I'm saying, they'll do somebody, such as what they do in the other. And so best thing, people that's going through that matter, I hear those stories, I get those calls, I know what it's like. Whether I've observed it or I experienced it. If you make yourself available to it, that's exactly how it's gonna happen. And you're gonna be going a whole nother season, a whole nother year talking about how you gotta get away from it, you tired of it and stuff like that. So that's the advice to it. Go back on this video, care to share, bookmark it, put it on your Pinterest board. The next advice I have. The next advice, I guess there's so much stuff to advise on. See what else I want to talk about. Just the advice of just people, manipulative people, people that are uninformed, people that, they live at their convenience. So their convenience is not advice for you. Like certain things they can live off, it just ain't gonna work out for you to do it. So I just really recommend apply the universal math. Go research. You have to read. We could, and don't get so stuck on, people that get to talking about, oh, ain't nobody talk about no education. Ain't nobody trying to start no business. They behind. I know where they at. I know where they at, and I'm glad that I'm glad I've met more than one person that is doing, and I go far from there, and I'm sure I have more advice, coming up, advice, speaking on people that like I said, I can't tell you exactly who to be friends with. People they are too sociopathic. They are so psychopathic. That, what I'm saying, you just have to take a breath back. And I like the quote of whoever wrote the little page about, they wrote a quote, a little picture that's going around that said, people that are taking care of business, but when y'all talk, it's like y'all never separated from each other. You don't want somebody that they gotta talk to you every day, every week, and if so, they reminding you of it and stuff like that, or or you gotta get there and only talk on what they want to talk about, but they can't talk on nothing you talk about, and it's just draining. I want to talk about what I want to talk about, and if I gotta feel like less of a person, or I gotta feel like, okay, well, let me string myself down to get on what you talking about. It's like, come on, go read some books. And then we can talk about something. Go. If you're truly interested in me, go read something similar. Come to the table with something new. That is within definitely my interest. I'm compromised to your interest. I done talked enough World Star Hip Hop and enough reality shows with you. I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. I hear what's going on with. I can tell you, but the conversation gonna be short, and I'm not gonna start. My time is limited. I'm not gonna over-occupy myself with it. I have watched the latest Basketball Wives. Um, I just watched a few of the episodes to catch up and get an idea of what they've been saying and stuff like that. But you know, the thing is, stop trying to dictate and over-calculate friends. Let people show you who they are. Don't be trying to come treat somebody like they the food stamp offers, like you need these food benefits. That's who you do that with. The way they act on basketball, because basketball wives feel like having a job at the post office. It really does. It's because you're on there to get for a platform, and like you have to have that job. And oh gosh, and I hope somebody get there and re-spin off that show, Basketball Wives, with the total production of a good concept or something like that. And if you're interested in the consultation, consult me, because I do want my consulting credits. Of a good concept for the show. And no, I'm not doing it on mainstream, because I already know how things get perverted and it be totally out of my way, and then it start making a bad impression, and then when you start having extra bad impressions, I'm not caring if somebody thinks that, you know, I don't care if you get there and think I'm too ghetto, but I don't want you to get there and engage with me as though I'm generic or a non-factor. Like, that's where the matter comes down with me. That's why I don't want things, you know, anything I consult, not know anything, but if I majorly consult to is majorly, you know what I'm saying, I don't want it to where the concept is way far out the left. You can understand, you know, when you're doing business, it's going to be some things that's not perfect. Like, it may not be the right color. It may not be, it may be more than what you thought of it and you really like it. Or it just may be something not too perfect to where you want it. But it can't be something that's totally against, you know, moral-wise. But definitely, I hope somebody really do take the Basketball Wives. Of course, they would have to have a different name, but have a positive production concept to it. And even if it's on a YouTube channel or so forth like that, but have a great sponsorship funding behind it, that would be great, because, you know, you got to have some civilized basketball wives that know how to behave, show them supporting their husbands, and doing productive stuff. Like, come on. Everybody don't want to watch drama, but then the thing is, people that's positive, you know, they're not going to be watching, you know what I'm saying, positive people can, you know what I'm saying, just for the deck of the way the world is not going to be watching 100% positive stuff. That's reality to it. So I spoke on advice. I'm almost up to 30 minutes, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I will TTYL. And tune in to Much Matters Monday at 7 p.m. Dial 914-803-4571.